5 days at GDC has come to an end. We've seen so much fun, but we're totally exhausted and we got too many impressions. And Bengt, what was your favorite?
Oh, that's a hard question. One thing, I'd have to say Little Big Planet from Media Molecule, the guys that did Ragdoll Kung Fu. That game just looked so imaginative, so new, so fresh, and you know, I just look forward to playing around with the mechanics and making my own levels and sharing, and it just looks like a game that captures everything that a game should be about.
But before we talk more about the games, we've both been to E3 before. And what do you think is the biggest difference between E3 and GDC?
Well, it's a whole different vibe. It's not as fast, not as shallow. It's much more of a place where you can have a relaxed conversation with someone who makes a game and make a connection and just see something that you normally don't see when you're in the press. You just get the bullet points, and this is our game. You know, please like it. Yeah. And at GDC, you just have a much more down-to-earth connection with everyone who's here.
But there was some stuff that was actually a bit too hardcore for me. Did you experience that as well? Some of the developer talks that were...
I went to a presentation on the technology behind Battlefield Bad Company, the Frostbite engine. And I basically got as far as showing the trailer, and then that was it. I couldn't get anything more from it.
No, because I was at some physics development stuff as well, and it was just like, okay, I'm in the wrong place. Any more favorite games?
Well, it's not a game, but I really enjoyed Shigeru Miyamoto's speech on his creative vision, and what we saw from Super Mario Galaxy looked fantastic. And speaking of Nintendo, I also had a lot of fun playing Phantom Hourglass, the new Zelda game coming for DS, and the two-player mode was a lot of fun. It's sort of like Pac-Man, where you control either the ghosts or Pac-Man, and you collect these gems, and it was a lot of fun. It's very simple, but a lot of fun.
I was at NCSoft checking out Tabula Rasa, the MMORPG, which is more action-orientated. Did you see it?
I didn't see it at this year's GDC. Of course, we couldn't do all the things, both of us, so...
But that was something that totally blew me away, and I think it's going to be huge. And as they say in the presentation, which you can watch later, that I think a lot of other developers are going to adopt some of the gameplay mechanics that they are using.
And Richard Garriott, of course, is such a legend in the field of MMOs. So.
Yeah, and he's so much fun talking to.
Yeah.
But you did a lot of Sony stuff. I did a lot of Microsoft stuff. And the Sony stuff you watched?
Well, I mean, you know, I watched Lair. It looks fantastic. Such an epic game with dragons, and you know, it just looks like a game that I would love to spend hours and hours in. But I also think that like the focus for Sony at this convention was the simple things and the online things. Things like Little Big Planet and Flow and Calling All Cars, and of course PlayStation Home, which was announced, you know, which is Sony's vision for their online community, and something that they believe strongly in, and something that, you know, it will be very interesting to see what the users make of it, because it's pretty much it's an open thing where you can create your own little space for other users to visit and to be in, and it's a very interesting way of handling the whole online concept instead of the Xbox Live, which is very focused on rankings and efficiency. It's a very efficient system, whereas PlayStation Home seems more like a social system.
Because I have to admit, I've been the last 6 months a little bit skeptical and a little bit tired of the delays, and I didn't think that all of the launch titles were that good. But after what we saw at the press conference, I was blown away, and I thought, wow, now you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and I mean they didn't even show like a lot of the big stuff. Like they showed a little bit of Killzone, and they didn't show anything of Ratchet and Clank. So I mean, when it comes to the games, we know that they will deliver. We just didn't see them here, but I mean, if they also have that foundation, and also I think that Sony are providing an interesting platform for new developers to make their games on the PlayStation Network, something that emulates Xbox Live Arcade, but hopefully we won't see all the fillers that we've seen on Xbox Live Arcade in between the good games.
One thing I thought was very interesting, and which is a little bit special for GDC, I think, is that when I did an interview with Sakaguchi-san from Mistwalker, it was of course about Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon, which both looks fantastic, and are one of my two favorite games while we've been here. He just had a slip of a tongue, and he said, "We're working on another game as well." And the PR guy was doing like, and it looks like most of the developers and the designers and the directors want to share everything.
Yeah, I think that that's a true sense of it being a convention for the game developers. Developers to developers share a lot of thoughts and a lot of things between each other. So for them, it's normal to exchange ideas at a place like this. I mean, I also heard a slip of the tongue from the art director of Fable 2 that game has a production timeline of 3 years, and that's of course something that Microsoft don't want you to know. But I mean, that's just the kind of things that slip out, and yeah, I mean, Peter Molyneux said something about Dimitri, but then again, he always does.
He always does. How many hours of filming do you think we've done in these 5 days?
Wow, I have no idea, but I know that we're running out of tapes, and I would expect it to be, well, 30 hours perhaps, something like that. Of course, we won't show you guys 30 hours. That would be torture, because not all of it is good, but
oh, there are some bloopers that would be good.
yeah, there will be a blooper show.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank you for watching us, and look forward to all the content that we've created here at GDC this year.